So your house has been on the market for weeks, maybe months, and you've had very little showings and no offers, and you're probably wondering, why? What's wrong? What is going on? Before you drop your price, let's talk about some real reasons why your home isn't selling and how to fix them fast. Hey there, home sellers. Welcome back. My name is Kasia, and I'm an occupied home staging specialist, meaning I help homeowners just like you who want to live in your house while it's on the market. So let's get into this one. Maybe you are living in your home and you've put it on the market and it's been out there and you're kind of wondering, well, what is going on? Why is it so slow? Why aren't people coming to our house just for the showings? What's wrong? So I've got 10 reasons why and how you can fix them fast. So let's get into this first one, and it's a lot of common sense, true, but it takes a little bit of effort to get your house looking great, because you may have thought, well, it looks great. My friends and family come over all the time. They always make comments on how nice it is, and yeah, but there's certain things that you need to do that are going to look different when it comes time to staging your home to sell. So that's what we're going to cover. So the first one, it's a doozy, good, but I have to ask it. Have you decluttered your house? Has it been cleaned? Are there dishes about? Is there laundry about? When you take those pictures, what do the pictures look like? Is it showing the clutter? Is it showing a mess? Yeah, and those are really important questions to ask when you take those pictures. Take a look at those. See what the photographer took and kind of go, oh, yeah, there's probably something that I could have. And you're probably thinking, well, people can see beyond that. That's not a problem. Well, yes and no. So what I mean by that is, so yes, they can see it, right? And they can get beyond it, but they're probably thinking, well, if you can't even just tidy up the home, what else haven't you taken care of? Okay. And one of my top videos is the top 15 things that turn off home buyers. I'll leave that link in the show notes too. Take a look at that one and you might be surprised and going, oh, yeah, I kind of have those things. So yeah, so take a look at that. Have you decluttered and cleaned? Number one, that's the first thing that you need to take care of when it comes time to showing off your home, okay? And even then, after the pictures are taken for the showings, you didn't leave a mess of laundry, or maybe you were painting or something and you didn't leave that out. Now I know, again, some of you are saying, well, people can get over that. Yes and no. They want to see the final finished product. They need to imagine themselves living in a home, not with a mess around them. Okay? They need to feel like, oh, we can move in right now. That's what you want them to think about. That's the mood you want them in, and go, yeah, let's put an offer in. Let's move in like next week if we can. You know what I mean? That's what you want them talking about. Okay? So number two, have you depersonalized your home? And some of you may have a few things up. You're probably thinking, but that just takes out the character. Yes. Yes and no. Okay, so what do I mean by personalization? Taking out, removing that, depersonalizing it, are family photos. If you have large canvas pieces of family photos on your wall, or maybe you have them framed real nice, maybe you have all sorts of maybe your grandkids in the little frames on the mantle, on the sofa table, on the kitchen counter, in the dining room, yeah, all of those need to go. All of them. Yes, I'm saying all of them. I'm saying this with all the love in my heart here. I'm trying to help you sell your house, and people don't want to see who else lives in here. Again, they're trying to imagine themselves living in the home, not who's currently living in it, okay? So remove all the family photos. Yes, all of them. For the pictures, for the showings, you don't want them, because the other thing is you don't want other people to know who lives here. How many kids do you have? Because those photos, guess what? They're online for a really long time. Yeah. So just remove all those family photos, family things, anything like that, okay? So that's the second thing. Number three, did you leave it like you live in it? You probably have your favorite chair, maybe it's a lazy boy or something like that, in front of the TV, and that's the only thing, and everything else is kind of just pushed up against the wall, and it's just, yeah, front and center. Yeah, that's not the focal point we want to think about when you're in the living room. Your lazy boy, I'm sorry to say, is not going to be the focal point. No, I'm sorry. In the living room, the focal point should be the fireplace, if you have one, or the view of the backyard if you don't have a fireplace, right? Something to get them to look in the room and go, oh, wow, this is a nice space. I can see our family fitting here. Not just the one lazy boy chair in front of the TV. Okay, all right, I said enough. All right. Number four. Okay, paint colors. Are they loud? Are they bright? Is there a red dining room? Yeah, those are colors that are totally, that it's probably your personality, and that's perfectly fine because that's your personality. Maybe you have a coral peach colored living room because that's what you love. That's not going to work for buyers, okay? And I'm not trying to bash your decorating style. It has nothing to do with you. When it comes to marketing your home, you have to think as a buyer, and they want neutral colors, neutral things. Okay, yes, some of them want some color, but not coral peach, not a red dining room, okay? Not a bright yellow kitchen or bedroom. Yeah, those are some colors that are loud, bright, like neon green bedroom. No. So take a look at the paint colors. If you do, take a look and see all the pictures that the photographer took. Is there more than 2 paint colors in your house when you put the pictures side by side? Is there like a red dining room, a beige living room, a blue bathroom, a blue bedroom, a green bedroom? Yeah, we got a rainbow color going on. We don't want that, okay? It needs to be all cohesive, all the similar colors, not a loud, bright colors, okay? Number 5, if you take a look at the outside of your home, is the lawn cut? Are the bushes trimmed? Is there something kind of looking scraggly? Maybe the sidewalk needs to be fixed, okay? If you have maybe some stepping stones, maybe those need to be replaced. Or maybe sometimes people have, if you have a asphalt driveway, is it looking really bad, or can you just kind of, not caulk it is not the right word, seal it, that's the word. Maybe it look a little bit nicer than the way it is right now. But take a look at the outside of your home, your curb appeal. If you stood out on the street and you looked at it, does it look nice? Does it look, not like a Nightmare on Elm Street type of thing going on here where it's scary to come to your house because the weeds are tall and that you can't even tell where the front door is? You don't want that. That's not what buyers are looking for. Okay, so make sure that the lawn is maintained, that it's always freshly cut, that the bushes are trimmed, they're not blocking any windows. That's not what we're trying to go for. Okay, so you've heard some of my home staging tips. I do have a free home staging guide that you can totally download for free to get you started, because you're probably wondering, Kasia, what do I do? Okay, these tips are great, but what else can I do? So if you download this free guide, it's called the How to Start Staging Your House Now. I do have 10 home staging tips in there. I show you exactly how to influence buyers. What are some home improvements that you can work on that don't cost an arm and a leg? And I'm not saying remodel a whole bathroom. That is not what I'm saying in there. But take a look. It is totally free. You can download it. I'll leave the link in the show notes. Number 6, another thing that the reason why your house is not selling, is it empty? Did you take out all the furniture and all the accessories and everything? You may not know this, but empty houses actually take longer to sell than staged homes. Ask me how I know, because I did this before I became a home stager. I actually tried to sell a house that was empty. Oh, this was a couple years ago. It wasn't in the fast-paced market or anything like that. It was an average market. It was in New Mexico. It was near a military base, so you'd think with the military moving in and out that would not be a problem, right? Well, this one, because the pictures showed it as an empty house, buyers had a hard time figuring out, well, what is that room, number one? How big is it, number two? Can I fit, I have a sectional, or I have a bunk bed, or blah, 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 insert piece of furniture here. They can't tell how big the space is because it actually looks smaller than it really is. So if your house is empty, I highly encourage you to get some rental furniture, get that staged. I actually helped a house flipper one time, actually several times, with some rental furniture a couple of years back. This has been like 5 or 6 years. I don't do vacant houses anymore, but what we did do is that his house was on the market. It was empty. It sat in the market for 2 months. And then I brought in staging furniture. I had him retake the pictures with the furniture in it and the accessories staged and ready to go. A week later, he had a full price offer on the house. Yeah. So furniture does make a difference. And you may be thinking, well, my furniture's not the greatest looking. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be brand new either. As long as you can show off the space, kind of update it a little bit. Maybe there's some things that you can do that will make it look better. Your furniture, while yes, sometimes it makes a difference, but there are things that you can do to make it not stand out in a bad way so that you can help sell your house. But an empty house takes longer to sell than a staged house. Okay, so if it's empty, take a look. I also have a video on some of the costs of staging an empty house, so you kind of have an idea of what that costs. Number 7. I kind of grouped this into another one. Is there a smell? Are there broken things? Maybe you have brought some people in and they're like, it smells kind of musty, kind of moldy. Maybe there's some broken like lights or broken steps or broken screens. Like maybe they're ripped screens or something. It's just not looking its best. That may be some of the things that some buyers may be, kind of taken away from that. They may be thinking, oh, well, I don't want to deal with that. I want a move-in ready house. Now, there are some people in the market that will be looking for a fixer-upper. That's perfectly fine. But they're going to lowball you and give you a lower price for the home. And you as the home seller are going to get offended. Believe me, when we had to sell our houses, there was one person that was trying to lowball us. We're like, we're not even going to respond to that offer. You can leave. There's the door. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? If you've ever been in that situation, yeah. So take a look. Is there anything broken? Is there a smell? If there is a smell, go fix it, right? Maybe it's something that it's the carpet that needs to be cleaned, okay? That's a fix for you. If it's broken things, maybe you need to have a handyman come in and come replace it, right? But those are the types of things that you want to get done and fixed before you sell your house, okay? Number 8, are there different kinds of wallpaper in the rooms, or are the rooms like all different colors? We talked about colors, right? But wallpaper. I had one client who was, her house, she rented out, right? So she had 2 bathrooms in this house. And it was a decent sized house. It had 3 bedrooms in there. And then there's a hall bathroom and then the master bathroom, right? The hall bathroom, the tile it could be, the tile could stay, that was fine, but the wallpaper really had to go. It had flowers on it, it was just dated. Those are the types of things that, again, get that handyman to come in there, unless you're going to do it yourself. Take down that wallpaper, replace it, paint the wall a neutral color. That'll help you with reselling your home and selling your home. And especially if you're either flipping it or if you're even renting it out, maybe it's a rental property for you. Okay, that wallpaper is dated, and those are the types of things that buyers are going to look at going, oh, it could live in this house, but maybe you can even get offer more for that rental property if you just take down the wallpaper. Okay, so something to think about. Maybe it's the handyman that does that for you, but definitely wallpaper is something that can... Now, there's newer wallpaper that's out now that's nicer, but if that wallpaper has been up there since like the 1980s, 1990s, it is time for that to go. You do know that's 30, 40 years old. Yeah, that needs to go. I'm just trying to help you, okay? Okay, all right, point taken, got it. And then the last thing is maybe you've priced it higher than you should, okay? This one I've taken to heart many times when we've had to sell our houses, is that you do have to keep in mind the market and what the market will bear. Is your house overpriced? Okay. Maybe you as a home seller, it's like, oh, I spent all this money, before when I bought it, I should be able to get X amount of dollars for it. Maybe you should, but the market won't won't bear that amount. Buyers will not give you that amount of money. We had that when we bought our house in Virginia. The seller he thought it was worth like not $1 million. Or like, in the area that you're in, I could see that. But because the house is older, there were very few updates. The kitchen had to be updated. The windows had to be updated. Basically every room, everything had good bones, but really it was more of a $800,000 house. So he had to swallow that pill and say, okay, yeah, I'll sell it for that. So yeah, but I was back in the early 2000s. So just so you know, so things change in your areas. It depends on your town. It depends on the time of year too, the type of market you're in. I know some of you are getting ready now because it's the holidays and you're thinking, oh, we're going to do this in the spring. Now is the time to start getting these types of things changed, to get the right stuff done, get those handymen in, get the whatever you need, electrician, plumber, whoever, to get all these things fixed and ready and make your house show ready so it doesn't sit on the market for weeks and months with no showings, okay? So these are just a couple of things to keep in mind. I went through a couple of things in here, but I know the market is slow. My free guide gets you through starting on staging, okay? But I also do have a home staging basics course where if you're interested in learning how to do it yourself, reusing your things in your house, I go room by room, living room, kitchen, dining room, eat-in kitchen, bedrooms, bathrooms, laundry room, mudroom. What else do I have in there? Bonus rooms. Yeah, and curb appeal. So yeah, there's 12 pre-recorded videos that you can take a look at. I'll leave the link in the show notes. I'm having a Black Friday sale coming up Monday, November 24th for only one day for that course at a low, low price. So now's the time to grab it because otherwise later it's going to be a whole lot more. So take a look at that if you're interested, if that's something that you have the time now because it's November and you're looking to sell it later in spring. You have the time now to go through those videos, watch them at your own pace, and implement the changes quickly and yourself with your stuff using your things, okay? So I hope this giving you some ideas and some helpful tips on staging your house and getting it ready to sell. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and we'll talk to you later. Bye!